welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 23rd January 2025. So let's get started. Before that I want to make a small announcement, guys. We in Rathods IS we started GS Prelims cum Mains Foundation course. So try to join this because right coaching is very important in your UPSC, in your reaching of this UPSC goal. Okay, and here in this course classes will be taken by expert faculty, and there will be daily minimum 5 hours of classes along with current affairs, and there is daily mains answer writing practice, which is very crucial. And we're also conducting revision test for your prelims and as well as mains in the between of the course, and we are going to give the material which is very updated with previous questions and practice questions. And we are also providing daily current affairs PDF and as well as weekly and as well as monthly in our app. And try to join this course, and we are providing on both online and offline. And if you have any queries, you can call us on the number which is appearing on the screen. And next one is you can also WhatsApp me so that I will be replying you for your queries. So let's get started, guys. So first important article in today's paper is about India and US relations. Okay, if you see the title here, you can see Marco Rubio meets Jaishankar, calls for talks with India on illegal migration. So this article is talking about illegal migration. Okay, let me write the keyword here. Illegal migration. So what this article is about? It is talking about one important keyword in your syllabus, that is migration. So migration is nothing but the movement of people from one place to another place. Why it is calling as illegal? Illegal means without proper documents. If there is no documents, or whenever they went to a place for a certain time period, but after that time period again still they are staying there without renewal of their time period. So that is called as illegal migration. Okay, so now what is this issue of illegal migration between India and US? This is very important. So as you all know that from India, especially students who will take visa and who will be going to US for a certain period of time. So after that completion of education also they are staying in US by doing some part-time jobs. So this is some cause of concern between India and US, which is related to illegal migration. And even yesterday's article we discussed that after Trump came into power in this 2.0 era, he signed one executive order to abolish citizenship based on birth, that is just solely. So it is also one important concern, and we have to see these two topics together. And this topic is important from your GS paper 1, guys. In GS paper 1 we have geography, and in this geography you will be reading about this human geography and economic geography. There you will be studying about this chapter called as migration. So here you have to know about what is migration, and you have to see who are migrants. First one is what is migration, who are migrants, and you have to see types of migration. So in types we have two types, domestic and international. And in domestic we have different classification again. So that is nothing but rural to rural migration, rural to urban migration, urban to urban, urban to rural. And whenever you are reading about this migration, you have to see what are the factors that led to migration. So in these factors, we have two kinds of factors. So what are they? Pull factors and push factors. Push factors are nothing but the place where you are. So what are the factors from the place where you are which is pushing you out from that place? For example, there is no lack of education, no sanitation, no health facilities, no job opportunities or employment opportunities. So those are pushing you out from that place. That is called as push factors. Pulling means nothing but what factors which are there in other place which is attracting you towards. Okay, what factors are there in other place which is attracting you? For example, if you are normally in rural areas, so you will be attracted towards urban areas. For what? for education, for multi-speciality hospitals, for employment opportunities in construction or any area. And even if you're going to urban areas, you can earn more. And even employment will be seen normally on everyday basis, but in rural areas, it will be on season basis. And even you can get better standard of living. So like that, what are the pull factors and push factors are very important. And especially it is talking about India US, right? So you have to see about what are the push and pull factors regarding India US migration. Clear? And you have to see about what are the impacts. So what happens because of this migration? Okay, I want to let you know some important facts. So whenever migration is happening, there are positive impacts and negative impacts, right? So positive impact is nothing but we can get remittances whenever you are migrating from India to another country, and even you can get better standard of living, and you will be getting better access to technology, better access to employment opportunities, better access to education. Okay, all those are the positive impacts. So but what are the negative impacts? So if you see negative impacts of migration, it will leads to changing of foreign policy. And always government need to focus on diaspora. And if at all, if there is any conflict which happened, for example, Indians went to Russia and Ukraine. So because of this Russia-Ukraine crisis, India went for operation. And in that operation, they are bringing back our Indians. And even if there is any pandemic, again, India needs to focus on saving of Indian diaspora and other countries. Okay, so like that we will be having some issues, guys. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see, and this article is very important, and especially students who are going for this year interview, they will be getting question on for sure about Trump 2.0 era. What is impact? So what is impact on India US relations? And as well as you may get question regarding how our foreign policy will be changing in this 2.0 Trump era. So what are the positives and what are the negatives of this Trump 2.0 era on India? So all these things are very important, and even you may get a mains based question regarding this for sure. 100% question will be there regarding India US relations in your GS paper 2 under international. It may be like 10 marker question or 15 marker question. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. Let us see some basic things also that you have to know about this article. So first one here is US Secretary of State met India's External Affairs Minister, and they are discussing about various issues. The first important issue they want to discuss is about illegal migration of Indians into USA. So the migration is one of the central topic of discussion. That means we are focusing on immigration policy. So here we can understand that there is some complexity of immigration policy in the US. So because of this, obviously it will be having impact on Indian diaspora. Okay, so there are estimated that around 7,25,000 undocumented Indians they represent in US. That means there is a significant human capital in USA, okay, from India. So here because of this, whenever there is any policy changes of US happens, obviously it will be having impact on this 7,25,000 people. So it will lead to serious personal and social repercussions. So first impact here is if there is any change in immigration policy of US, it will be having impact on more than 7 lakh Indian diaspora who are living there without proper documents. And second one is whenever they are coming up with any executive orders or any policy shifts, then what happen? So it will be impacting our Indian families. So now we need to have diplomatic discourse. So we have to go for resolving this issue diplomatically. So this is second important point. And next one here is they also said that we are going to send back Indians. For example, they gave the list of 18,000 Indians and they are going to be deported. So because of this, ethical issues are coming into question and as well as diplomatic issues. And next one here is Even Quad is very important, right? So even we are going to have this Quad summit soon. So in this summit also, yes, we are going to talk about how to counter China, everything. So in this context, we can use this Quad as a platform to discuss about this issue and to resolve this issue. So these are the things which are given in this article. And now let us see some basic things regarding who are migrants. So whenever you are writing any definition of any keyword in your syllabus, so try to write authentic definition. Authentic definition is nothing but you can take any organization according to World Bank, according to IMF, according to International Organization of Migrants, according to ILO, according to World Economic Forum. So like that, try to write an important, any important organization, try to quote them. So here if you see what is this migrant, International Organization for Migration, it defines a migrant as a person who is moving or who had already moved across an international border or within a state away from his or her habitual place of residence. That means whenever they are moving outside of their place of residence, it may be out of their state within domestic, or like they when they move from their country to another country, it is called as migration. So migration is the movement of people from one place to another, either permanently or temporarily. So this is very important. So this concept includes both on permanent basis and as well as on temporary basis. Okay, so why there is increasing of illegal Indian migrants in USA? What are the push factors and what are the pull factors? Yes, you have to know that. So first, if you see the push factors, okay, so in India, they are not having sufficient job opportunities. So from economic perspective point of view, they are going out to get employment opportunities in abroad. And next one is lack of confidence in the governance structure in India. So because of this, some individuals, they seek that there will be more stable environment in US, and because of that they want to shift to US. And if you see the pull factors, so obviously they will be having better employment opportunities and higher wages, there will be career advancements, and even they will be getting this brides also, right? So they're going to US. And next one is for quality of education, and even if some of their family members they shifted US and if they settle there, so with the for reuniting with their family also, people will be going there. And if you see the global migration trends, there is overall increasing of global migration after this pandemic, because they want better opportunities, better security in different countries. And even smugglers, they have involved or they are coming up with their own methods, and which is offering sophisticated in demand services, and they are also facilitating illegal entry into America. So because of this also there is increasing of illegal migration into America. So what are the impacts? So what are the socio-political and geopolitical implications for India because of increasing of illegal migrants? So first foremost point you have to remember is, so obviously it will be impacting bilateral relationship between India and US. It will be affecting trade negotiations, it will be affecting security operations, strategic partnership, and even whenever Indians are going to USA, obviously the brain drain of India is happening, right? So that will be having impact on our India's economy, India's development, India's skilled labor. And next one is brain drain, loss of skilled and educated individuals. And next one here is we will be having challenges in our labor market. So whenever all the skilled people they are going to other countries, who will be there here in India? That is obviously unskilled or semi-skilled people. So that will create shortage, and that will be having impact on the development of our country. And next one is even some policy repercussions will happen. So after this, Trump who took charge, so he said that we are going to cancel these H1B visas and we are going to deport them. So obviously there will be some issues between India and US policy. Okay, so these are the some things that you have to remember from this article. Clear? Okay, now let us see the next article. Flagship scheme for girl child has helped to defeat bias, says our Prime Minister. So whenever any of our higher government officials, whenever they are saying any statement, it is very important. And this topic is talking about one important flagship scheme regarding girl child. So can you expect what is that scheme about? Bete Bachao, Bete Padao. Okay, so this topic is about your one of the flagship scheme of Government of India, that is Beti Bachao, Beti Padao. Okay, so here you have to see about some important facts. What are the important features of this scheme? For example, in which year this had been launched, under which ministry, so what are the aims and objectives of this scheme, and next you have to see what are the advantages and challenges of this scheme. Okay, and you have to see this topic from your GS paper 2 under governance point of view, and you have to see is there any way forward to address what are the challenges we are facing now. Okay, and even you have to see some other related schemes regarding to empowerment of a girl child, so that you can use these schemes efficiently while you are writing your essay and as well as your mains answer. It will be very useful, guys. So now let us see this article in detail. So here our Prime Minister is saying that Beti Bachao, Beti Padao, that is nothing but Save and Educated the Girl Child campaign that helped to overcome the gender bias. So what is the meaning of gender bias? It is nothing but gender discrimination. So actually this article, this scheme which is focusing on empowering of a girl child. So because of this scheme, it reduced female feticide, and even it reduced increasing of enrollment of girl child in schools, and even increasing of literacy in the girl child, and even that led to decreasing of discrimination against girl child in the society. So these are the points which our Prime Minister want to say. So now let us see some facts regarding this scheme. So when this scheme was launched, it was launched in year 2015, and the important aim of this scheme, it is to address sex selective abortion, that is nothing but female feticide. Because whenever parents know that they are carrying a female fetus, then what happens? Obviously they'll go for ending or abortion, that is called as sex selective female feticide. Okay, so because of this, what happened? Obviously this gender ratio or sex ratio, that will be decreasing, right? So whenever sex ratio is decreasing, what happens? So if you're having 1,000 boys, girls will be decreased, right? So because of that, the scarcity of the girls will happen in our society. So here if you see at that time, for 1,000 boys in 2011, only 918 girls were there. Okay, that is short of around 82 girls. Okay, so here because of this, government launched this scheme, and this scheme which came up under Ministry of Women and Child Development. Okay, and this program has been implemented in 405 districts in our country. So what are the main objectives? It is very important. First one is to prevent gender based sex selective elimination, and next one is we have to ensure survival and protection of girl child, and we have to focus on ensuring and participation of girl child, and even to protect the rights of girl child. So these are the important aims and objectives of the scheme. And in the same way, we are also having other relative initiatives regarding this Beti Bachao Beti Padao, which is focusing on the girl child. Like we have Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, we have CBSE Udan scheme, National Scheme for Incentive to Girls for Secondary Education, and National Girl Child Day, Adolescent Girls, and even recently we came up with this PM Vidya Lakshmi scheme as well. Okay, like that you have to see what are the schemes which are present at the state level and as well as central level, which are focusing on women empowerment, not exactly women empowerment, that is girl child education and girl child empowerment. Clear? Now there is one article that is talking about National Health Mission has curbed several public health concerns, says Center's report. So this article is also very important, guys. Okay, so this article is talking about one important mission of government, that is National Health Mission. So this article is important from your GS paper 2 under Polity and Governance. It is also important from GS paper 2 under Society. And even it is important from GS paper 3 under Economy. So now let me show you what are the advancements or what are the advantages of this National Health Mission, so that we can go back to those subjects and we'll see in which dimensions we can see. So here, if you see, this article is saying that National Health Mission has significantly contributed for improving of public health. For example, that led to decreasing of MMR, that is maternal mortality ratio. And even this scheme which also helped for decreasing of TB and as well as sickle cell anemia. Okay. And next important point which is given here is, it also led to increasing of human resources within healthcare sector. And especially they said that there is increasing of healthcare professionals who are working in this area. And because of this, especially 83% of declining of maternal mortality rate is seen, and 45% of infant mortality rate had been decreased. And even we had decreased TFR, that is total fertility rate, from 2.3 in 2005 to 2.0 in 2000. And even we are achieving United Nations Sustainable Development Goal targets for maternal, child and infant mortality ahead of 2030. Okay, so these are some achievements of this National Health Mission. So here, if you are getting question regarding what are the, can you tell me what is the outcome of this National Health Mission, so whether it is success or not. So these are the points that you have to write in your examination so that you can attract your examiner. Okay. So now if you see here, from governance point of view, you have to see some basic facts, like what is this mission is about, when government came up, so why, what are the goals under this scheme, and from society point of view, what is the impact of this scheme on the society, and what are the outcomes of this scheme. So for example, there is decreasing of TB, there is decreasing of sickle cell anemia, there is decreasing of MMR and IMR, so that there is increasing of happiness in the society. Okay, and from economy point of view, you have to see how can we increase outcome of our economy through human capital. So whenever humans they are healthy, obviously they will lead to the enhancement of our economy. So how they are doing that? And even whenever we are having or we are providing the good health, obviously there will be decreasing of burden on the government for social security. Okay, so that it will be focusing on development of people. And even from environment and ecology point of view, how this kind of schemes are helpful for achieving those sustainable development goals. So from that area also you can talk. So if you are writing about anything regarding sustainable development goals, so we have 17 sustainable development goals and we have to achieve by 2030. So an important scheme which is also promoting for achieving of that is National Health Mission. So in this dimension also you can see. Okay, now let us see some basic facts regarding this scheme. So here, the National Health Mission has significantly contributed for improving of our public health. So what are the things they said? Decreasing of MMR, decreasing of IMR, decreasing of incidence of TB and sickle cell anemia. So if you see about this National Health Mission, it was launched in the year 2013. So earlier we have National Rural Health Mission and National Urban Health Mission. So they had been clubbed together and finally we came up with this National Health Mission in year 2013. And after this, the main programmatic components are health system strengthening. So we are focusing on strengthening of our health system in the rural areas and as well as urban areas. And we are focusing on reproductive things regarding maternal, neonatal, child, adolescent health. And even under this scheme, we are focusing on communicable and non-communicable diseases. For example, communicable disease like TB, non-communicable is sickle cell anemia. Okay, so if you see what are the goals of this National Health Mission is, first one is reducing of MMR to 1 per 1000 live births, IMR to 25 per 1000 live births, TFR to 2.1, and reduction of anemia in women, especially who are between the reproductive age of 15 to 49 years, and to prevent and reduce mortality and morbidity from communicable and non-communicable diseases, and to decrease this out-of-pocket expenditure, and even to decrease TB incidence, to reduce leprosy and annual malaria incidence, and even microfilaria in the decreasing of that, and even Kala Azar elimination. So these are some important goals under this National Health Mission, and on these goals also there is a chance of getting a question in your prelims. Okay, now let us see the next article. See the title. Center announces hike in MSP for jute by 315 rupees for quintal. So there are two important things which is given here. That is, now Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs fixed MSP. Okay, so what are the keywords? First one is MSP. What is this MSP? Minimum support price. MSP is minimum support price, which comes under your GS paper 3 under economy. And the second keyword which given is jute. Okay, where you will be studying about this jute? For example, in your GS paper 1 under geography, especially in your Indian geography, you will be studying about crops in India. So there you will be studying about different types of crops. For example, food crops. So in this food crops, you will be studying about your paddy, that is rice. Next one is wheat, and even pulses and millets like jowar, bajra, ragi. So all those things that you will read. And apart from that, you will be seeing your cash crops. So in this cash crops, you will be studying about sugarcane, tea, coffee, cotton, and as well as jute. Okay, so here you will be seeing about this jute here, and whenever you are reading this chapter of crops, different types of crops, you will be seeing about special geographical conditions required for a crop, special geographic conditions which are required. So from this area you may get a question, and you can get a question regarding location in India, where in which states you are going for growing of jute, and you have to see the process of getting this jute also, and jute manufacturing industries where they are present in India. And next one is you have to see what are the advantages of jute. Okay, so all these are the most possible questions where there is a chance of getting your question, guys. Okay, and from your MSP, that is minimum support price, which is a part of your economy, you have to see what is this minimum support price. So minimum support price is nothing but before growing the crop, before sowing the crop itself by the farmers, government will be announcing the amount of money that it will be buying from the farmers. That is called as minimum support price. So whenever government is announcing that, and then it will be giving farmer information about how much they will be getting, so that they can make some informed decision like whether they can go for growing of that crop or not. And here you have to see about calculation. So how they are calculating this MSP. Okay, A2 plus FL plus C2. So this is the formula they will use. That is input cost, family labor cost, and even if they are tenants, so how much rent they are paying, everything will be included. And next you have to see about what are the challenges faced by MSP. So whenever government is providing MSP, farmers will be trying to grow that only, right? So because of that, they are not going for crop diversity. So even though they are not having water, they are going for growing of paddy. So because of this, it will be causing some harm to the environment. Okay, and next important one is government will be providing MSP for 23 crops, and you have to see which crops are those, because in 2018 or 19, if I am not wrong, there was a question on this only. So identify the crops which are getting MSP. Okay, And you have to see about CCEA, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, so which is announcing this, and you have to see which is recommending this MSP. Okay, so those things are very important, see that once. Okay. Now if you see the next article, title says China's moves must recast India's critical minerals push. So this article is talking about critical minerals. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under international relations and even from GS paper 3 under science and technology. So from international relations, why it is important? Because China is leading exporter. So China is leading exporter of this critical minerals. That means many countries supply chain is dependent on China. If suddenly China blocks export of this critical minerals, it will be having impact on the country's economy, because these critical minerals are very important for automobiles, for the defense, electronics, everywhere we will be using these critical minerals. So it is very important. And from science and technology, you have to see what are these critical minerals, and you have to see examples of these critical minerals, and you have to see in which areas, that is areas of application where we are using these critical minerals. That's it. And now let us see this article in detail. So the recent expansion of China's export controls on critical minerals will be having significant impact on India's efforts to develop its own mineral resources. For example, if we are directly getting the exports, obviously we'll be going and we'll be getting that, right? So India is heavily reliant on these critical minerals of China. So because of this, in future we may get some impact. So that is the thing which mainly said in this article. So if you see the important points which are highlighted, the first important point they said is China is strategically controlling the resource. For example, China is a key global supply chain player of this critical minerals. And this strategy, it is evident that yes, it is showcasing the capability of leveraging sources for diplomatic gain. For example, if they want to control economy of any country, for example India, they may stop this export of this critical mineral so that it will be having impact on our Indian economy. And next one is India is also going for the discovery of this critical minerals. For example, recently we went for lithium deposits in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, and it initially we thought that it will be like a turning point for India for energy transition. But however, from politics point of view, if you see, there is lack of interest from the companies because they may not get proper profits. So because of this, again we are thinking about the feasibility of India's mineral ambitions. And even there are some barriers like investment. So already you know that there is decreasing of private investment in our country, and even there is decreasing of private investment in this critical minerals as well. So because of this, there is slow pace of auctioning of this mineral blocks which is going on. So because of this, it will be like a very difficult for India's mineral extraction. So here this article is saying that we need to go for exploration of licenses. We have to go for low barriers for the specialized agencies to engage in this mineral activities, exploration activities in India. So here our government of India need to come up with some policy intentions and as well as ground level realities so that we can decrease our reliance on China. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said, that's it. And next important article here is tax avoidance treaties. India sets new norms for claiming benefits. So this article is talking about double taxation avoidance agreement. Double taxation avoidance agreement. So what is this double taxation avoidance agreement? So if there is any agreement between country 1 and country 2 regarding this, if they are paying tax in one country, it's enough. There is no need of paying tax in the both countries. So because of that, what happens? The products which we are going for trade between these two countries, they will be competitive. the cost will be less. So because of this, we can encourage more trade between the countries. That is a thing that you have to think about. That's it. And already in our earlier class, I said detail about what is this double taxation avoidance agreement. And next article here is India's maritime sector needs investment of $1 trillion by 2047. So this article is very important because this statement is given by our Union Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. So why he said that statement? Because actually we are having increasing of threats, and even recently our defense minister also said that there is increasing of threats in Red Sea and as well as Gulf of Aden. For example, we have piracy issues, we have some choke points issues, controlling of choke points, everything. So here because of this, yes, we have to go for increasing of maritime security, and even we have to establish green hydrogen production hubs. So that will be very much helpful for decarbonization of our shipping sector. And next important point which is said here is, 1 minute, I'll let you know. Yes, that is nothing but we have to benefit our Indian shipyards as recycling yards. So for that also we have to invest more. And India is one of the top 10 maritime countries in the globe. So because of this, already you know that JNP port, that is Jawaharlal Nehru port, which is going to become the top 10 global list, because it is going to achieve this 90 TMC soon, right? So because of all these things, if you want to place our country as a developed country by 2047, yes, we have to invest more in this maritime sector. So this is the thing which mainly said here. So here you have to see important thing, that is nothing but what are the challenges, what are the challenges of maritime sector, and what are the schemes of government in this maritime sector, and you have to see what is the way forward. And even you have to know about one performance index of our ports, that is World Bank Container Port Performance Index 2023. So in this index, Vishakhapatnam ranked global top 20 ranking. So here as of now 9 Indian ports are under this list of World Bank's Container Port Performance Index, and we have to increase that further so that we can gain this developed status by 2047. And even you have to make a note of this somewhere. So whenever we are improving the sports, whenever we are going for this recycling and as well as green hydrogen production hub, decarbonization of the shipping sector, improving of safety and security in this maritime sector, obviously we can increase job creation. That job creation will be helpful for development of our country. So all these things are which are mainly said by our Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Okay, see that once. So these are the some important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. And before concluding, I want to remind you once we started online and offline GS Prelims cum Mains Foundation batch. So try to join this course. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can call me on this number 8074765513. And even you can text me on WhatsApp, guys. Okay, that's all. And if you really like this class, hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IS Academy.